क्या हो गया ये? अरे संभाला. Okay, I have to go here. All right. Something went wrong. Okay, चलो लाट शुरू करते हैं अभी. All right, the position is white to play. Good afternoon, everybody. This is FIDE Senior Trainer and International Master Chess Coach Sekhar Sahu welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Center to this intermediate training session. So to begin with, let us present on some tactics. When you see a diagram, obviously the weakest point is now black's king. So how to exploit it? You have two choices. You can go queen and there is a dangerous threat, or you can consider a direct attack bishop check. So you should decide whether you should play queen f3 or give bishop e6 check. That's it. Which is more accurate? You can go for material or mating attack. क्या चाहिए आपको? Hello, Creative Mind and Kanakshri, Tirth Parmar. It's lagging. क्या अभी इंटरनेट इज नॉट इन माई हैंड. इंटरनेट इधर टावर तो फुल दिखा रहा है अभी. क्या करे भाई, टावर फुल दिखा रहा है. इंटरनेट टावर हियर. The weather is not good. Let's try white to play the queen f3. Yeah, this is more stronger than bishop check also wins. Queen f3 is stronger. For example, when you give bishop check, he is forced to take king here mate or king f8 queen. So bishop check is winning, but queen f3 is stronger. For example, bishop check, you are winning the game. He is forced to take. Then you can take knight into and winning the game. Okay, that is winning. But I would say queen f3 is also very powerful because he has to take bishop. There is nothing. And then I give check. Take. Forced to take. You cannot take rook into. Queen check f7 and rook checkmate. Mate into. Only move. And knight into with a winning attack. This is a winning attack. So both are good. Queen f3 is stronger move. However, if you give bishop check, it is also winning. I would give mark to bishop check also. Both are winning. Very good. Next. The position is white to play and win. Hello Ramakrishna. How to play against b7 line in Catalan? Okay, I will show you, Rama. I will show you. Today I will show you in this session. Let us finish this practice. White to play and win. E6. Tirth Parmar. Correct answer. E6. Create a tactical target. Now queen is attacked. So there is no choice. The f7 is attacked. D7 is attacked. So only move. He has to take Now what do we do now? Yes, now what should white do? One correct move does not win the game. You have to play a whole line correctly. You have given a rook. You have given a rook sack. Now what do you do? What will you do? Where will you go? Bye bun. Fifth Parmar ED7. So do you agree all? Creative mind, Queen F7. Fifth Parmar ED7. Both are wrong answers. E into D7 is a wrong answer. Queen F7 is a wrong answer. The correct move is, what will you do? Where will you go? My answer is knight check. This is where I will go. This is where I will go, and I bring a new queen. So I say this is where I go, and I would bring a new queen. Queen into is forced. Knight queen into queen. Pawn into forced. And Nava queen house. Nava queen house. New queen is coming. It is no more than a draw. This check, and that will draw only. Nothing better than a draw. So the correct move is knight check. Forcing, or you lose the queen. Forced, and gone. Winning. Yeah. Only one answer. Creative mind, please keep in mind, only one time answer. Well, next. Bye. This position is black to play. Flip the board. Knight E3 check. Knight E3 check. Yes, Knight E3 check is winning. Both bishop check is winning. Even this check wins and this check wins. Anything. Knight check is winning. Takes. Bishop check is also same thing. The answer is same. Either move order. And then knight check, takes, rook check, takes, queen check, mate. So anything. Bishop check, knight check, both are correct. Okay. Play and win. Show me the win. Rook E1, you have to give the full answer. Rook E1 check, king F2. Don't give piecemeal. Give the full variation. Rook into E1, king F2. लेग हो रहा है ये, पता नहीं ये क्या है. ये तो है सही है, ये सही है, लेग हो रहा है. तो क्या करे, इसको लेग हो रहा है. ये टावर सही है, देखो लेग हो रहा है. क्या करे इसको, कुछ नहीं कर सकते, हमारा कंट्रोल में नहीं है. Rook E1 check, king F2. Rook E2 check, king F1. Rook E1 check, king F2. Rook E2 check, king F1. Come on, what will you do? Rook E2 check, king F1. What next? Rook into bishop, king F2. Rook E2 check, king F1. I told you rook f1 check, rook check, and rook e2 check, king f1. Already I told you. Rook into bishop, king f2. Rook e2 check, king f1. Not satisfied with the answer. I am not convinced. Not convinced. It is not in my control. Whatever in my control I can do. प्रॉब्लम है यहाँ नेट का कनेक्शन यहाँ ठीक है. बिलीव मी द ब्रॉडबैंड इज फाइन हियर. Okay, I must tell you, when you give a rook check, he will not take. When you give a rook check, he will come. Weather is so bad, damn. चलो अब इसमें what is the plan here? Okay, I must tell you the solution. He cannot take king into because rook check is coming. Now he cannot take it. So rook check here, again rook check king. But then yes, nd2 check. This is the point. I want him to take, so I take the queen. Or he can take king into. Or he can take king into and rook check is winning. Rook check and I take the queen. Wins. Alright. ये कंट्रोल में नहीं है, क्या करेंगे भाई? I am unable to do anything. It is not my hand. Now it's okay. Okay. Let's see. Hello, Hars Mehra. If white goes to king g1, if white goes to here, knight check. If king g1, then rook check. Allow a rook check and winning. Okay, next. Fast, why? Next. The position is white to play and win. White to play and win. Okay, last diagram. So here, check, king, check, and now what if he goes here? What if he goes over here? All right. Then I think there has to be repetition. There has to be a repetition only. There has to be repetition. There has to be only repetition. Nothing. Now rook check, again rook check. You have to repeat only. Draw. You are right, Hars. This game ended up a draw. But if he plays king, if he plays king f1, then here knight check is coming. All right. There is a flaw. This is a flaw. Well spotted, Hars Mehra. Now the position is here, white to play and win. What is the winning plan here? Somebody tell me white to play and win. क्या चल रहा है ये? वही पोजीशन है, दिखता नहीं, आगे नहीं जाता है. ये कुछ गड़बड़ है. अभी क्या करे? वही पोजीशन है, लास्ट पोजीशन.
आ रहा है.
ठीक है जी.
रेडी है.
यहाँ नहीं आता है. ओके. some positions are no. Kanaksri Kamakshi Vastu E5 is not correct. Not correct. Not correct answer. Hello Suresh Bhai Chawda, how are you? Yes, there comes correct answer. Tirth Parmar. You got to open the bishop's line. You cannot win. You have to open the line of the bishop. This is the point. You need to open the line. So, ND5 correct. You have to accept it because bishop has nowhere to go. Bishop has nowhere to go. Now you have to accept it. Pawn into only move. But then now check. Now this is winning. Winning the game. Forced. Now impasse. Winning. Rook G1 is coming. So ND5 correct move. Not BG7. This is not correct. Because if you play BG7 directly, it is not working. You will not able to force it. This is bad. Now this is not forcing. So not a correct move. First ND5. Okay. Alright, next. Here the position, it is, I have done it already. What is this? Once again I am doing it. So this position, it is black to play. Black to play. Black to play and win. This is a hard one. I must give you a cue. I must give you a hint. The king is bad because the bishop is controlling and this bishop is watching and the queen is watching. And there is active pieces. All these are participating. So all 5 combined beat him. Yes, knight e5 is correct move. Queen c3 bad move. Queen c3 will just take it. Pawn into. The king will run away. You think there is a mate? No, king will run away. So knight e5 is the correct move. Opening line for the rook. Now pawn into knight loses to queen c3 and checkmate. So ne5 is correct move, and he will not take, but then that position is lost. Knight into and then bd5. Bishop attacks the rook, and rook any move, then bishop, winning the game. Well done, Harsh Mehra and Tirth Parmar and Surajbhai Chawda. Correct move. Next, the position is white to play and win. White to play and win the game. Marcel Cisniega, a grandmaster from some Argentina, South America, but I beat him once. How does white win? So how does white win? Creative mind. Where is bishop e7 is the illegal move. Bishop e7 is an illegal move. It is illegal move. Tirth Parmar, you want to show my game with Cisniega? I will show you. I will show you. Creative mind says bishop g7. Correct answer. Bishop g7 is correct answer, because after the move a deadly check, and after the move queen into wins. This is the winning move. Now bishop into fails, rook into check, and the end game is winning. The end game is winning. The too many pawns. And if you play rook into, if you play rook into is also lost. The answer is same. Now rook check and mate. Not mate, winning the end game. You want to see my game with Cisniega? Cisniega beat once Anand when Anand was a GM. After he became. Okay, I will show you my game with Cisniega. A very interesting game, because it is the last game of one tournament where I had to beat him to make my IM known. Last game of one tournament where I need to beat this guy, very strong player, but I beat him and made my IM known. Okay, I will show you. Interruption. Where I am Cisniega. Okay, I am on Cisniega. Sahu will rather search my game. It is better to find quickly my game. It was way back in 1986. 86. Marcel Cisniega was white. Now I will tell you, I did not know theory. If I knew theory, I would not have won the game. Because I was ignorant of theory, I won with a bad position. Okay, let me take you. So now you have to go back. So this is all standard theory. So this is a pawn gambit and white is better. I did not know, I just took the pawn. But after this, white stands little better. If you know theory perfectly, the game should be equal. The game should be equal. The theoretical move here is a6 and knight check, now bishop check, now queen and now pawn push. This should be equal because knight will come back, but white is little better in development and space. So white has bishop pair, development and better king position. So definitely white chances are better in the position. However, Grandmaster Timon's evaluation is this can be held to a draw equal after f6, but it is not easy to find f6. So I did not know. I played. This is the correct way to play. What I did here, I played this bad move, bb4. Now the position is terrible. My God, I thought, how could I survive this position? Black is completely outplayed in the opening. White is in a clearly better position. But I survived. Now I want to push him back. So there is no doubt that white is having a clear big initiative. In those days, my games and thinking was totally revolved around tactical operation. So strategically, I was not so good and also very poor in opening knowledge. So white is terrific. So here I was ready to draw. I was ready to draw because position is bad, but my opponent wanted to win anyway. Okay. It looks hopeless, but my knights did wonder. Knights did wonder for me. So just survive today, fight tomorrow. I said forget the piece. Forget the piece. Now knight into f4 will come and I will fight my luck in the rook and queen ending. Okay. So check. And amazingly, the position black knights can spring into life. Amazing move. Now the point is, if rook moves queen into knight and I give a check and an endgame is coming where 4 pawns each. So I had to survive. So rook f3, I will take queen into rook. So stops. Again there is a fork. Even though black has won the exchange, but white has a trump card. He can create 2 pass pawns. White position is active and 3-1 majority. Still it is not over. Okay, I said take it and try the luck. Bring the king. Main idea is join the king for check. I guess this is a critical moment. This is a critical moment, and on this, I think white should not move the knight because the pawn is not able to advance. White should start advancing the pawn. This was the critical moment. If he advances the pawn, I think black is in serious trouble after the pawn move. But luckily, my opponent gave me some hope. Take, and the rook attacks. This is the point. Now take, and now rook attacks. Now king. The point is, this move does not work. He will take, bishop takes, and 2 pass pawns are winning. And now rook check. This is the point. Now this is the point. Both will queen same time, but pawn queens with check. The point is, white will queen with check sometime. So if you do not take it, now the position is lost because after the move here, I don't think I don't know what is the answer here. I was thinking. I guess I have to play. Rook to here, and in queens, a rook check, and rook takes. I guess this position should win the game. This position is winning because 3 pawns and king active. The king is far away. So I was lucky to win. I was very lucky to win this game against a grandmaster from South Argentina. Alright, so I go to the clipboard. Okay, I already did this. Now this position, arey, what is happening today? This is something is went wrong. Arey Baba, I have to go, otherwise maybe I will go to the. All right, let's start where it was. I think. Alright, this position is white to play. White to play and win. I have showed you this already. RB6 and wins. This is the move, because if knight check and queen into pawn does not work. I have already done this next. So this position, it is white to play and win. This also I have done it. Alright, I think this we have not done. Let's see. Yeah, black to play and win. Black to play and win. Ulina Dodova, hello. How does black win? Not rook f1. Not rook f1. Direct queen c2. Rook f1 is not correct. Rook f1 is incorrect, because here rook into and queen c2 no time, rook into rook check is coming. He will get check. So that is why you, without exchanging, you have to play queen c2 directly. Directly queen c2. This is the winning move. Now queen into queen, multiple exchange on f1 and a fork. And if you play queen d4, anyway it will win the game, rook into, and then winning the piece. So either you win the queen or extra piece. Okay. So next is the position is white to play. How should white play this game? White is a piece down. White is a piece down, and there is a mate threat. Black is threatening mate. So white is not only a piece down, opponent is giving a mate threat. What to do? Huh? What will you do? Where will you go now? क्या करोगे भाई? क्या करोगे भाई? Queen e7, king into. Queen e7 check, king into and win. It is not stalemate. क्या करोगे हैं? Queen e7 is no draw. How can it be draw? Is queen and bishop up. Queen e7, king e7. Yes, I know a bit Russian. I can talk bare minimum things and read the Russian literature. I know the alphabets. Queen e7 is not correct. Not stalemate. What is queen e7, king e7? Nothing. Where is the stalemate? King has a room. There is no stalemate. There is no stalemate. King at G1 is a room. No stalemate. You better be careful. That is not a stalemate. King at G1. Yes. Okay. Are you ready for the answer? Be quick. We got to do a lot of things. Be quick. It is not a big variation. Madhav Madhusudan, welcome. Hello Madhav Madhusudan, after a long time. It is not a long variation, very short variation. This is a very short variation. White forces a draw. White is forcing a draw. Tirth Parmar, you want me to how many? I can talk 8 languages. 8. And 2 languages, half. I know a little bit of Russian. So 8 languages I can talk clearly. No, Madhava, it is not check. It is a stalemate. Basically, Kamakshi Vastu Kanakasri said the right answer, but wrong. The concept is right. Okay, Queen G8 check. Queen G8 check. King. Now the draw comes. Queen check. And now he cannot go. Queen into bishop is a check. He cannot go. This is winning. So you cannot go here. So the whole point is, after this move, queen check. And after this move, stalemate. This is a stalemate. Now, there is no move, no pawn move, and no piece. So forcing. So, the whole point is check, you got to play here. Check, you have to come. You cannot come because queen into is a check, only move. But then, check, you have to take it, force. And this is stalemate. Alright. Next. Which is 8 languages? You see, my mother tongue is Oriya. Then I know Bengali and Telugu because it is my neighboring states and it is very easy. I know my mother tongue, Bengali, Telugu, then Hindi, English, and then Tamil, and then when you know Telugu, Tamil, they are South Indian languages. Okay, these are the main language, and of course I can talk in what is that called Bhojpuri, and I can talk in Assamese. These are all similar to Hindi and Oriya languages. These are the languages I am very comfortable. No problem about it. And other than that, I know a bit of Russian, so I can manage if I were to go to Russia. I can read the alphabets. I can talk also a little. All right. And also, I was very good in Sanskrit. Hello, Dennis Papin. Dennis Lapin. I can't read it. Dennis Lapin. Welcome. Greetings. All right. The position is, it is white to play and win. Not rook c7. Rook c7 is not correct answer, because you are ignoring a rook check. Rook c7. I don't say that this is not correct answer. First you give a check. This is the correct one. You give a check, and now you have to take it. You have to take it, check. Now if you go, I will play rook into c7 and then queen enter. You got to give the rook. This is winning. Now queen into and forced, and queen into and unstoppable mating attack. And if you give other moves, there is problem. So this is the answer. You take check, check, king move. Or if you come up, suppose you come up, then getting mated. Queen will come to e2, or d1 or e2, better e2, and then mate. No answer. I am sure this is winning. I am sure this is winning attack. No answer. So queen e2 wins. So only move you have to accept. Only move you have got to accept. And you have to go down. And then this is winning. Alright. But if you play direct rook c7, there will be, of course, some choice will come. Some choices are there. Direct rook c7, some choice. If I take it, I don't know whether you can force any winning combination. I have not checked it, but probably black will win the game. Black may be winning. There is only one check, nothing more than that. So rook c7 is not correct. After queen d4, I think it is not easy. So the correct move is knight check. Forced rather, knight check. Now you come up, queen e2 is winning attack. And if you go down here also winning. Same thing. Rook into, and then I enter queen. Alright. The next. Zalanzi, I think I have done it. ND5 is winning. Next. अरे कोई हिलता नहीं है कुछ. ये कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. I see. ये corruption हो गया है. I will have to go to this. Let's see. Something corrupted file. Okay, let me see if it is here. It is corrupted. Why it is happening all this time? Zalanzi. Yeah, it is here. This also I have done. This is also done. Okay. Next. The position is white to play win. Actually, I do not do. I am only doing selecting puzzles and endgame for training purpose. I do not try to solve puzzle nowadays. Okay, I can do it. I can do it also. I am not a player anymore. I am a retired player. My peak was 1990. 1990 was my peak, and then I gave up serious chess. Because 1990, my rating was number 4 in the country. Anand was number 1, Dibendra Barua was number 2, Praveen Titse was number 3, and I was number 4. And in ranking, I was number 2 one time. But then now I am not a player. I am only retired. Alright, find out how should white win. Today 6 o'clock I will play. Yesterday some technical issue was there. I hope today it will all right. Today 6 o'clock we will play. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow is off. No class for 2 days. Thank you. Creative mind. Om Khadenga. Om Aditya Khadenga. Jai Ho. Now, in this position, the whole point is, many times in tactics, we see the weak point, capture, checks, then vulnerable point. Sometimes you open a line, sometimes you close a line. So, how do you win here? Oh, creative mind is unstoppable. Jai Jagannath. Here, you need to close a line. For example, your two bishops are deadly. You know, this is there and this is there and rook and queen here. So, all you need, this is the main defender. This is the main defender. So, just close it. Finish. Because after bishop takes pawn, queen into check, bishop takes, rook check and next movement. Next movement. So he cannot take bishop into, and if he takes with pawn into, also miserable position. After takes it, it is winning. Mate into, check, checkmate. Not mate exactly, but you should win the game. You should win the game. You are winning quickly, 2 pawn and mating attack. Maybe winning, right? So this is also bad. If you take, this is winning. You know, besides this pawn falls after the check, over. So G6, correct answer. Kamakshi Vastu and Pragnesh and Tirth and creative mind. G6 is the correct answer. Now this position, it is black to play. I have already done it. Now this position is white to play. Have we done it? No. No. White to play and win. What is my rating? You see, in 1990, I was 2435. If you consider today's strength, it will be 2550 because rating inflation. If you consider the inflation of rating, it is like 150 point, you can add 125 point. So today, if I was playing at same strength, I would have been 2550. I was at my peak of my strength in 1990. Not BF6, correct, not correct. Pragnesh, not correct move. BF6 is incorrect. BF6, there is a defense coming. If you take BF6, there is a defense coming here. Defense comes here. And then control. Yes, that is where Tirth Parmar. You need to destroy the defender. So, ND5 is the correct move. Is the correct move. The reason is, after BF6, the defender is there. So, ND5 clears the path for the rook. You have to take it. Knight cannot take it. Only move. But then now bishop takes. And if it takes, rook into E7. But he will try to fight it. If you take bishop into, this is lost, he will fight it. Rook E4. There is no other defense. Rook E4. But this is now winning after the move rook into, he has to take the bishop. You cannot take it. You cannot take it. Only move. Only move. But then bishop into check and you should win the game. You have gone too much material already. The reason is now king F7, you will lose the piece, and king H8, you have the deadly knight move. On king h8, queen into is winning. Knight move is not working. You have got too much material. Two rooks. You have got two rooks, two pawns, and initiative. Initiative. Well done, Tirth Parmar. ND5 correct answer. The position is black to play and win. We have done it knight e5. The position is black to play and win. Black to play win or a draw? Let me see. I think it is a draw, not a win. Black to play and draw, not win. It's not a win. How to draw? Correct move. Tirth Parmar is giving correct move. You need to close the queen's line. Knight into pawn check should come. So rook f5. Correct answer. Now the threat is knight into pawn and perpetual. The only move. And now there is nothing better. Whatever you do. And now knight check and draw. Well done. Hello Ramakrishna. Catalan doubt. Okay. I will know after the tactics. It is finishing few seconds. I will start Catalan that doubt. So this position, it is white to play. White to play. Ramakrishna, give you 5 minutes. The simple, basically what you observe here, the rook is the well placed piece. So, if your rook is gone, then black has nothing. And you are winning the rook by forcing king to take the pawn. When you force the king to take the pawn, and then the rook is lost. Because the pin. So, the knight will be pinned. Okay. So, bishop check. You have to take either bishop or pawn. Pawn is bad. And after this, you force queen. Force the king and now winning. Winning. Okay. Not rook f5. Not rook f5. Not rook f5. Here bishop check is the answer. Okay. Next. This we have done already. Sisniega. Next. What is this position? Black to play. We have done already. This position white to play. We have done. No, we have not done this. White to play and win. After this, I will go to Ramakrishna's doubt question. Oh yes, creative mind, RFI previous. Now last position today for tactics. Find out how white can win this game. Find out about it. Correct answer. The point is, after rook f7, you get queen entry and target forced. Now queen entry. Now attacking the rook and attacking knight, and rook f8 loses to simple g6. It will lead to mate. Pawn into and then queen h5 mate. It will force a mate here. So rook into, bishop into, rook into, and then queen here is winning. And if you do not take it, for example, other moves will lose. So there is no other move. Now discover check is coming. If you move the king, simply it is lost. Well done. Well done. Rook f7 is correct answer. Not g6. G6 is not the best. You will have time. You are giving time to opponent. If you give time, the queen and bishop will join the defense. So don't give time. Rook into pawn is finished. Alright, I have done all this tactics. Now let me take you what Rama is asking. See, I will tell you. Now d4, d5, c4, e6. Now knight f3, b e7. Basically, this is Petrosian's idea. Why Petrosian played? First, you must understand why is this move order. Why not knight f6? Why? Difference is if you play knight f6. Now here knight c3, knight f3 or knight c3. It doesn't matter. Knight c3 and now knight f6. White can play pawn into, and now play bg5, be7, now e3, now you castle. White can play bd3. Why bd3? Now suppose you play c6, no c6, and now knight e7. The position, the pawn, now the idea, the pawn is free, and castle, then knight, the pawn will come and pawn e4 will come, the knight comes to g3. You know, if the very famous game, Garry Kasparov and Nigel Short, you must have seen that. Exchange variation d35. So bishop and d3 is very, because all the pieces are free. Here pawns are free, pieces are free. Here both the pawns are free, the pieces are all acting. No pawn is obstructed. And this is how Garry Kasparov beat Nigel Short in the PCA final. Just show that game. You get an idea. Where is that? भाई अरे नहीं मिल रहा है फाइल कहाँ गया या फॉर एग्जाम्पल SHORT short Nigel Kasparov. No, not this one. Not this. Yeah, you see, this is the problem Kasparov he played. Now, not this one, 93. Hurry. D35. Look here. Bishop D3. The idea, he wants to, not mechanical, he wants knight on E2 to keep the pawns free. Bishop D3. And now knight E2. And now castle. Here, he makes a good move. White's one of the strategy is to attack the minority attack. So this is the target. I want to push b4, b5. When they comes here, b4, b5 and take it and create a target there. So two files for operation. And White has a second plan to attack on the king side. Here, Kasparov goes for the second plan. Now bishop into pawn is bad. Now if you take the pawn, he will be in trouble. Bishop into knight. You have to take. Now you can take queen a4. Idea attacking rook as well, and attacking knight as well, and attacking pawn as well. Sorry, attacking the pawn as well. Now for example, you can play knight into pawn. Now where the queen is going? Now this is a problem. Queen a4 is also coming. So you cannot accept the pawn. That is why b4, and after that a6, he plays a3, and now White launches the second plan, attack on the king side. The whole idea, it is like advancing and finishing fast. Why this move? Because when you want to advance, you need to overprotect the weak point. Now ready. White is all ready to advance. Forced again. And now this is a terrible position. Now all white wants is knight should. This structure is very bad, weak structure, and the square is weak. The knight one day will reach here. Idea, he want me to force. Now you have to force b5. Okay, b5 is also bad. If you play, it is bad. Now you need to enter. You need to enter and finish. The family, whole black family. Either you lose material or allow the knight to come. So the main problem is when you play normal move like nf6 here, now knight f6, if you play, then white gets the plan of bishop d3. Then this is coming. That is why Grandmaster Petrosian, he wanted to avoid this bishop d3 setup. How you can avoid that? To avoid this bd3 and ne2, that Petrosian started playing, and this one. d4, d5, c4, e6, now nc3 or nf3 doesn't matter, b e7. Now you don't have bg5. You do not have to get, you need to commit now. You need to commit. Now if you play bf4, you are away from that pressure. There is no pressure on the knight on f6. So center is fantastic. Now if you play knight f3, then that bd3 and knight e2 plan is gone. Now once you commit, now you don't have that bd3 plan. This is the whole basic fundamental point. And one grandmaster played this move all his life against d4. d4, d5 and then e6 and b e7. Who is that grandmaster? Anatoly Lutiko. Anatoly Lutiko. Okay. Ramakrishna, I know you are divining. I don't understand. Alright. So, let us see how to handle b e7. Now c4, e6. Either you play now nc3, now b e7. The best answer is to take it. Now this structure is fixed. Now black cannot play this, giving there will be a problem on this pawn later on. So you play bf4. With bf4, you are watching this and rook is coming here quickly. Now we have got many active pieces. Now knight f6, e3, white will develop smoothly. Black cannot have that regular plan. Basically, what is the structure here? Now if you play this, what is the structure here? The pawn structure is nothing but it is a Caro-Kann exchange variation where black is having a 2 tempo. For example, he has got 5-2. You see, he has got 5 on the king side, 2 on the queen side. And black has 4-3. So this is the same thing. For example, e4, c6. Now d4, d5. Now ed, cd, bd3. Now you see this position. You play this one. Now what is the structure here? We have 4-3 and black has 5-2. Same thing we are having reverse color. So this position is quite strong for white. White position structurally is quite strong. Very strong on the king side. And what we are getting, whether this position, now the same thing here. No. The same thing here. We are having the reverse position. So this position, okay, d4, d5, c4, e6. Now take. Here the position is pawn into pawn. I suggest pawn into pawn. Control and I will do it. d4, d5, c4, e6. Now knight f3 or nc3, b e7. You should just take it. nc3, nf6, bf4. This is a regular position will come. Or you can play nf3, bf4, nc3, cd, same thing. This is very easy. Very easy. A small advantage is guaranteed. But you want to convert for Catalan. What is Catalan is when d4, d5 structure, white plays g3. That is Catalan. After nf3, g3 or nf3, b7, g3. So knight f3 and now b7. Now he is not committing. Now this is a Catalan position. You can play pawn into pawn leading to exchange variation of Queen's Gambit. No, I will have a look at it. Now nf3, now nf6. Knight f6. b7, g3. So this is called the Catalan. So knight. Now here you can play bg2. You are reaching a Catalan position. Grandmaster Anand has found an idea, castle knight c6 and take the pawn. Karpov has just taken the pawn and c5. So this is what you should see how top class players handle. Okay, let us I will take to Karpov Beliavsky in Linares. This was the best ever performance of Karpov. In Linares tournament, this is best ever performance in the career of Karpov. He won ahead of many strongest players of the world at that time with a rating performance of 3100. So in Catalan, the main problem is the development of queenside pieces. This is the problem. So, and black should take the pawn, and if he achieves c5, he almost reaches equality. If black can exchange these two pawns, then there is no problem. But the question is, he is behind in time to do all this. So takes queen. Now the point is, you can also play knight e5, but it does not give a guarantee, because knight e5, then this becomes weak. So immediately c5 can come. c5 can come. And the endgame is not great for white. So here, of course, even this endgame, by the way, you don't underestimate. This endgame is not easy. c5, dc. Now this endgame is also bad. You can take it. You can take it. Grandmaster Max Dulugi has won such endgames several times. The grandmasters, they prefer this kind of position. However, in my opinion, this is no more than a draw. This will lead to easy equality. It all depends. The taste of grandmasters. The position is white is better. But I don't think this queen c2 is more to the point, because exchanging queens so early. One of the thing is not interested. The whole idea, rook is ready to come, one, and the queen is watching the square. Always some tactical operation. Because if you play some b6, knight g5 will win. So the bishop is watching. Now the scope of the bishop is great. Queen's scope is great, and rook is coming. So all this idea, and I will recover the pawn. And you cannot maintain. b5 is losing right away. b5 is losing. The position is tremendous after rook d1, knight e5. So a6. This is basically a recommendation of the former world champion Alex Hine in his old games. a4. You need to stop, otherwise b5 will come, and after that you will have a headache on queen side. So you cannot allow b5. So here. Now bishop c6. This is basically, the idea is borrowed from David Bronstein. If you read the book Zurich 1953 in tournament, Zurich 1953 annotated fully by David Bronstein. In his book, I learned a lot from that book. You need to learn main strategic idea of many openings and great analysis. One of the gem. It is a strategic gem by Bronstein. Zurich 1953. So in that book, he mentions that now the bishop is coming here, and if queen comes here, he will come here, and freeing move. Now what do? You play knight c3, then the queen is not having good mobility. Knight c3 is not good. b5 will equal it. Knight c3 is bad. You play b5. This is bad. And if you play queen c2, he will be chasing the queen. He will chase the queen. Now queen d1, c5. Black has achieved equality. So I told you in Catalan, if you take the pawn and you get c5, this position. Now next target is I want to get c5, and after that equality. So queen c2 is a good move. There is other moves like dubious move. I can say knight a3, but I do not like. It is a debate. The two bishop. I want to take open game. Knight a3. Then you see this move, bishop into. Now the position will become volatile. For example, now white has got two bishops and an open files and diagonals, and black is having an extra pawn. So I would say objectively, I would prefer here white. It's not easy, But Grandmaster Geller, he beat a strong GM. Geller was black and he beat Alive Albert. And of course, there has been lot of improvement. But if you see the Geller Albert game, that Albert defended the position. The initiative of white is insufficient for the material. Okay. But objectively, if you ask me choice, I would be on white side. However, it is a matter of style. I like white, but I don't recommend you to play white, because continuously you have to find active variations. So I don't advise to play knight a3 here. Okay. For example, here queen c2 is more safer. Now bishop g5. Naturally, you cannot block, your nd2 is blocking. So bg5 is a good move, completing development. Now maybe you can play queen to back to c1 also, but Grandmaster wants him to force matter because nc3 and e4 is coming. So if you play bishop to e4, that is happy that knight will not reach. Now the point is, if you play, now I return. Now the knight is not coming, so I will gain a tempo. But a triple advantage trying to threaten bishop pair. So this is what the played. So here he plays c5, freeing move. This is black's freeing move. Intermediary move. Well, knight d5 little better for white. After knight d5, bishop e7 exchanges and he will play nd4. Suppose you play knight d5, then double bishop is knight d5, then bishop into, now you have to take queen into, and knight d4, the diagonal is good. White has got this pressure. This is a pressure, one. And second thing, the center is good. So white has definitely a superior position. So little better. At top level, they don't like to give opponent a little better, that to a dangerous player like Anatoly Karpov. Technically very strong player. So he decided he should have played this. Little better game for white. But he played this bad move. Freeing the knight. The main idea, I want to free the knight now. Knight into pawn. So this needs a protection. Other moves are not good. nc6 is not so good. After nc6, bishop into will come and then knight will attacking queen and mating threat. So typical combination. So the only move is nd7. So that when bishop into knight, other knight will replace, defending. Knight into, and now rook. I think there is no doubt about the position. Strategically, white is having two bishop, white is having center control, and white is having good open lines. Two bishops, good control of open lines, and good center. Okay, knight c5. What else? If you play here rook c8, which is a normal move to seize the file, he will play knight. Ganpat ho jayega. Completely Ganpat. Knight pawn into this is just overwhelming position. Positionally. So here I would say better to play queen, knight. Only move, queen. There is no other move. Other moves are not good. Knight e4 will come. So good move. And there is a still knight threat is there. The threat of knight f5. Only move. Now knight f5 is bad. Knight f5 is bad. He will give for queen for two rooks. So only move. And now fantastic move. Suddenly black is in deep trouble now. Because the rook, the point is, now I am not really threatening. The rook is protected and now the threat is coming. Game is over. The game is practically over. At that time, Belyavsky was the chief second of Garry Kasparov. You know, everybody has a good trainer, good second. You know, for Anand, long time Ubilava was there, then Isupo. Anand kept on changing his second. Peter Hein Nelson, Ferdinand Hellers, even Carlson was his second for some time. Magnus Carlson. Okay. So you have to have, because Belyavsky was so good in theory, but Karpov outplayed him in this variation. So this is a very good line and lost. I would say this position is lost. One piece down. And this is all annotation by Vijay Anand. So my recommendation is to play queen c2. My recommendation that players should play queen c2 in this line. Hello Suvankar. Little better Karpov can convert but otherwise it looks like equal, a little better endgame. Yeah, at that level, that yes, Suvankar, small advantage is enough. So some game in NA3. Okay, I will show you. I will show you. D4, D5, C4, E6. Now knight F3, B E7, G3, knight F6, BG2. Now you can say castle, castle, and now pawn into. Now I will tell you the correct move here. I would say Queen C2 is the best move. Even Queen A4. Even Queen A4, but I prefer Queen C2. Why Queen A4? Because this is different. You will play A6. When you take the pawn, you will play B5. When you come here, so bishop will come. Now BD2. Why BD2? Because the problem is now bishop is coming. And you know all these things, threats, rook is coming. Rook is coming. So this is the target. So rook has to come. Why give chance to white to get into all this? So Queen C2 is safest way. Instead of playing Queen A4, this is the safest line. Safest line. Now let me tell you that other move. There are players. They are they just like to gamble. Now I will show you. First I will show you the Geller Albert game. Grandmaster Geller was black and Grandmaster Lev Albert was white. So you will see how he defended. I was not convinced because the game was pure tactical. Strategically, it is bad position. First you see the Geller Albert game. Okay, in this game he took it. Now you have to, if you want the pawn, you have to surrender your white square bishop. Now white is ready. Now if you defend the pawn, RB8 is coming. Now Queen D6 and then defend. Or if you want the pawn, bishop into knight, Queen A4, but now he didn't give. This is defended. Now the extra pawn is maintained. Now pawn into pawn is not working. Not working. Knight into pawn, queen into queen, pawn into extra pawn. Now rook. The reason is always there is a check. Suppose you take, I will take it. Suppose you take, I will take. Take. The threat is knight, and now if you take it, a check is coming. So this is bad. So this is the whole point. This is here. And now anyway, you cannot take the knight yet. Cannot take it, still check is coming. And now rook. All of a sudden, the position of black pieces are very good, and you have to move the king. But when you move the king, then knight into pawn is coming. If you move, then knight is heading. This is not working. I can return. Knight into pawn, queen exchange and knight fork. So knight into pawn with a resource of knight check is coming. So these are all tactical operation. I am not convinced. I am not convinced about the way that white has handled, but all these things. Okay, I don't like this way. So though he won the game, but game was convincing. Now he found this correct move. The check is there. This still not working. Queen check and then I take knight d5. So only move. Only move. Check. All of a sudden black stands better because the pawn center is destroyed now. Now the pawn center is destroyed. You don't have pawn h3 now. You don't have pawn h3. Pawn h3. I have this pawn into pawn. And then if you move the bishop somewhere, then knight is coming. So you do not have h3. So that is why he played queen, but then this is gone now. The threat is rook into bishop. All this is pure tactical operation. Though Geller was a great player and he convincingly beat, but still I am not convinced about the position. For example, knight a3. I believe that bishop into a3 have to be played. I don't see. You don't have any other choice. Otherwise, your white will take knight into pawn. If you do not take knight into pawn with a clear central superiority. Clear central superiority. That is why this move is almost more or less forced. And after pawn into this position, okay, I will reverse. This position, the dynamism is 2 bishops 1, then this diagonal 2. Time if you want to defend. So I believe that it is not easy. It is not easy. Where is that? Who is this one? Yeah. I have to close the files. Yeah. Now let me take you some old games. Then I will take you expert of this variation, Michael Krasenko. Okay. Young Gata Kamaski. Even at the age of 15, 16, he was playing like a 2700 player. Now, okay, the other plans we will discuss, but you see, black played this move, which is the inferior move, moving the same piece twice and being greedy. C6 is very passive, then you will have problem in development. The idea is to mobilize center pawns. Already your black is feeling the heat now. You cannot dislodge that knight. You cannot play some f6. Very ugly position of king side. I think the piece arrangement already better. Forced. Now pawn b4 will surrender the pawn. Knight into c6 and bishop b4 is just blind will be pawn up. Not good. Only move. And now is the grandmaster showing the power of 2 bishops. I do not think one pawn is sufficient for central superiority, 2 bishops and unprotected queenside and kingside. Just bad. Well, it is very difficult now. Position is getting into worse position. I want to provoke that a5 move. Welcome. You want to play a5, then I will come back, then tension on b5. This will unsettle the queen side. I will come back. Now you can't push the pawn, and now this point is in trouble. Now power of the bishop and the center. Now this point is in trouble. So you cannot push the rook. And now double. Very well played. Even though Gata Kamaski was very young, it is at that time. Finishing. The pressure, a demonstration of a superior 2 bishops and center. Otherwise you cannot move any piece. You cannot do anything. Go away from the diagonal. You look at the black pieces. I think this is badly placed. This is poorly placed knight. Look at the center. Look at this file. Everything is so good. Everything is so good. So I don't need to discuss further, and white went on to win the game. So what we learned from this game, that here queen c2 b5, after rb1 the pressure is maintained. Center and 2 bishops. Let me take you another game next year after this game. Benjamin versus Brown. He played nc6. Basically the main idea of nc6 is to bring the rook to b8 and start defending the pawn. This is one idea. But the drawback is does not participate in the central fight. The pawn does not participate. And after this, both have got. You don't have to play rb1 now. You don't have to play queen c2. Not so great. Not so great move. But going. Once again, why this rook? Because this bishop, if necessary, sometime you have to go back. Sometime. So if you rook here, then the move, you run out of space for the bishop if necessary. So forced. What else you will do? Now black realizes that you have to fight for center. Without the pawn you can't do anything. Now there is no other way. Bishop here is meaningless move. Meaningless move. So well, this is a frustration. It is not good. It was better to wait. It was better to close the line and wait. Though I prefer to be white here. I prefer to be white here. So what can white do now? White can play something like knight e5. I would say knight e5. This position, it is not easy. You take the knight, then your kingside defender is gone, and space and center, two bishops. So I would say, but this is just a bad move, and I think is straight losing one piece. There is, I don't see. Two bishops are still there. But okay, I will now take you to other games like this is a different idea. NC6 is a different idea by Grandmaster Walter Brown. Now I will take you to Grandmaster Michael Krasenko as white. So again you see the fight with center and two bishops. You have to accept. There is no choice. Queen moves. Suppose I will just come back. Suppose you move the queen to d7. I will just come back with a clean one extra pawn. Other moves like knight g8 is you don't have to calculate. Miserable move. Queen f3 will pick up. After you play, queen f3 will pick up the rook. Winning. So only move. Only move. Only move. Series of only moves. All you want a rook to join. That's all. Next rook joining. rg8 is a mate in one. rg8 only move. This is the only way to stop for time being. Now idea g4. position is so horrible. Now your queen cannot come. This is a miserable position. So what we find out that this itself is a bad idea. This is a bad idea. You know, it is not prepared. It is on the board play that you find out that I will defend and come. So it turns out badly after a4. I will use my double pawn to weaken the structure. So b5 simply not a good idea. nc6 is more reasonable. I would say nc6 is a more reasonable move. No, only one game has played. b5 nobody has played. अरे मैंने क्या कर दिया? मैंने क्या कर दिया इधर? Okay, I have to again go back. What is this? Shatranj ki trick. How many tactics to do daily? 1 to 12 per day? 1 to 12. It is all depending on your ambition. If you want to become world champion, you should do 100 tactics per day, 100 endgames per day. If you want to become a grandmaster, then 50 tactics and 50 endgames per day. If you want to become a lesser than that, an international master, then 20, 25 each. 50 tactics, 25 endgame, 25 tactics. So, it all depends what is your ambition. See, you should take it only when king is castled, because queen check can always easily pick up. Taking the pawn, it is not a good idea, because you will lose the pawn immediately. Now knight c6 is not good, knight e5 can come, and now bishop d7, I will take. You will enter the bronze prince variation. That is anyway white is better. White is better. Bishop c6, now straight away you can come. Bishop to g5 or f4, queen c1 can come. So I would say you should castle first. Then you take it. Now white will castle, you take it. My recommendation is to play queen c2. So here knight a3. No, I would say knight a3, take. This is the position. Then you castle, right? Now white to play. So white should play. I would say queen c2 is correct way to play. Take. Now black to play. So we found out b5 is bad. Okay. So we find out here we already saw nd5 one player. This is a fundamental mistake. The same piece is moving 2 times before completing development, and b5 is weak move. And now let me take you to Crescent course. Then b5 is bad. We go to somebody. He plays here a6. This is a more reasonable move. Now material has become equal and two bishops. I will only discuss the opening. Now the point is, now if there is no way you can escape. These are all ugly moves, and come back you lose initiative. So this, so the position material equal, but white has space, especially the c5 cannot come. So once you play rook c5, I would say it is clearly better for white. Suppose my rook at c1, the position is definitely having an edge for white. So what you are doing? Now what other check is not good move. Now you can't develop the knight to d7. Knight d7 is not working, and I don't think it is easy. I don't think h6 also bad move. Okay, bishop and knight and superior position. So he gives a check. Plus you have time. Check, queen h6 and finish. Finish. Now if you allow, if this is coming, game is over. Over. Knight d7 doesn't work. Only move. If you move that diagonal, then queen check, it will finish the game. Queen check and mate. Only move. Tempo. And now you can see structurally white is having pawns are doubled. Pawn structure is not good, but white has all the space, and both the kings, white king is more safer when you compare both the kings. So I think it is having an advantage for white. Okay, this position is gone, lost. Okay, so only move to save the piece, but then I don't see a big attack coming now, because the d1 square is guarded, lost. So this position is played here, I would say that main idea here, knight e5 is also good. Okay, I leave. So Ramakrishna, are you convinced? Are you convinced? I will take you to a stronger player. Okay, stronger player game, defending Timosenko, a theoretician. Gennady Timosenko was a theoretician. Okay, just a minute. The charger power is going down. Very quick, I have to be. Gennady Timosenko was in Kasparov's team and having a good theoretical knowledge. He has written some opening book also. Now look here, this position. Geller's idea. So if you compare Geller-Albert game, I would say black has done better improvement here. Mate threat. Now white, it appears black has consolidated, but the breakthrough, the position looks temporarily settled, but you can see the power of the bishops have improved. You know, the power here, and this bishop is also very powerful here. So the extra pawn is only useful when the queens are exchanged and endgame is coming, which is very unlikely. What else? What else you will do? Knight into pawn is not possible. This is only move. The threat, bishop into knight. Threat, rook check, and okay, queen into is, knight into is also losing. After you play knight into, it is lost. Rook into, I don't see. If you play knight into, knight into, what can I do? I think I will play rook. And then I take this. I must keep the pawn in check. This should be alright. Okay. So this is not correct move. So you have to play here c2 only move. But then rook only move. Meaning so many weaknesses. So I would say this position is very dynamic, but you do not take it for granted. You do not take it for granted that always opponent will leave some weak point. It is very difficult, I would say. All right. So I thank you very. This I leave this line, my friend. I will leave this. Next, I will take you to. Do I have time for the other variation? Any question on this? Any question on this position? I don't think I will be able to cover that Grunfeld exchange variation, that Karpos line, because it is still in 20 minutes. I cannot do it. Okay. Okay, let us do some another game discussion strategy. I will discuss some strategic positions. Somebody asked a question. What is that? What is that? A question somebody asked. Okay, never mind. Never mind. A game of a great player from the past. Basically, this line is outdated. Theoretically, this is no more good. The correct answer is now h5. h5. Because now g4, now the whole idea, one of the ideas g4 and bg2 not working. So h3 is outdated now. However, knight. Now you want to play bg2, controlling center and good attack. So another strategic mistake. In the given position, white has lead in development because black knight came and captured. So Queenside is weak, and especially the d6 square and the d5 square, both are weak. d5 square is weak and d6 square is weak. And white has got also lead and space. g5. Now permanently the d5 square cannot be, and now it is one-sided. White has taken, seized the central square. Now taking the pawn, you are not getting anything. Queen into d6 will come. Now if you play bg5, you will play take, and this, though the position is means playable, white stands clearly better. Playability. Again, Baba, what is this? Not working. Not working. Not working. think there is charging problem. I don't know. अरे बाबा Okay. I hope it is okay. I hope so. All right. Okay. All right. So this is playable, but he opted for a bad line. He played tempo. Now the position is overwhelming positionally. Okay. How should you play the game now? How to fight this position? The mainly the d5 square, and Fischer found the right move at right time. Once the bishop is exchanged, then d5 square is very weak. Practically over. The game is practically and positionally lost. The only move. Suppose you play knight b6 fighting, then bishop takes knight, and now nd5. You cannot take the knight. Forced. And pawn gone. So nb6 does not work. In the game he took bishop takes. Take and nd5. Okay. Now we have got a winning position. I want some suggestions from you. How white should conduct the game, finish the game. Somebody. Fischer was great because he was expert in exploiting small advantages. What is the strength of white? The pride of the position is the knight, 1. And against this, 2. And rook is in the third rank. Rook is in the third rank. This is another way. Now the king is also a target, by the way. So this is a pawn, this is a pawn. So all the weaknesses are there. The pawns are weak, the square is weak, and the bishop is bad. No mobility. But the exploitation of the position is really worth learning. F4. This makes the rook free. This makes the rook free on the file. Into all the squares he can come. You cannot allow. If you allow f5, a direct kingside attack. If you allow f5, a direct kingside assault will finish. The only move. And now attacking the rook. Okay, the Fischer was very much very good in timing. Now not rook move, queen f5. Because queen exchange loses a piece. Still queen f5 is not a threat, so rook. Forced. Now again you see, he was pressing. Now for example, if you can win the pawn by knight into e7 and rook into pawn and d6. But he was playing much stronger, rook c3. Now rook c7 is a nasty threat, the only move. Now, if you play something like rd7, then knight f6 check will lead to mating attack. Knight f6, the rook is ready. The rooks are ready, and rooks are ready to seize the line. Mating attack. Forced. You cannot take pawn into pawn. Forceful mate will come. Only move. Mating attack. So you cannot play rd7. Now after rook c3, the only move. Again, only move. There is nothing else. rc7 is coming. The only move. you can see a series of force moves, and now again he played brilliantly. Threat. Now if you play rd7, knight f4, queen is getting trapped, almost trapped. Suppose you play rd7, now knight f4 is coming. The queen is running out of squares. There is no diagonal maintaining. Here you lose material. So you cannot play rd7. So whatever you do, it is lost. Suppose queen c6, you comes rook. Only move. Only move. Rook d. Otherwise you lose material. Now push the queen all the way to the edge. Only move. If you play queen g7, if you play then h5, h6 is coming also. So anyway, forcing. Now what a miserable position. What a miserable position of black. So of course the position you don't have to play a3, but a prophylactic move that king cannot come in ever any time in danger of combination or some sudden tactics. Simply a3. Of course, without playing a3 also you can win the game. But a3. Now this. Well, paralyzed position. Now bishop does not move. Everything is tied down. The pawn is under attack. The pawn is weak. Nothing. This is also not coming. You will open up line for me. You will open up. Rook into pawn and queen b3 check is winning. So only move and finish. Finish. Now g5 is bad and knight will head to f5. Now knight will heading to f5. So g5 is bad and he plays bishop. No time to take the knight. So Fischer's h3 has come handy now. You see, there is check, always there is a move. So his h3 has come handy, only move. Better resign now. Because king h8, ng6 check is crushing. You cannot allow queen h3 check. You cannot allow rook into and queen h3. Rook into bishop and queen h3. So he cannot go king h8, only move. Double check, not double check. Better resign. Mate. Mate. Because after you play rook into queen, king into, it should lead to mate. King into check. If this side it is a mate in 1, and if you play king f8 also mate in 2. So this is a very interesting positional battle. So thank you very much, friends, being with me. I will be back at 6 p.m. today for the practical training game, and tomorrow, day after tomorrow, public holiday is there, so I will not be there. And in the next session, I will discuss. I have been trying to do that Grunfeld variation Karpov system, bishop c4, d86 to d89. I will do it on Thursday. Okay, so take care, everybody.